and gentlemen, the following match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. The NWA Mountain State Wrestling television title is on the line. First, hailing from California, Justice! And his opponent, representing 1/3 of the Gifterage, the legit hit Bryan Kyle, your NWA Mountain State Wrestling Television Champion.
That's right. You never know, this might be Justice's night to get that television belt.
It may be Justice's night, but then again, it might not. And I've got to tell you, Bryan Kyle isn't going to lose focus in a big-time match like this. He's got too much on the line, too much steam, too much momentum. And one thing he doesn't want to do at this stage of his career is take a backward step.
That title belt was this organization. I remember when that title belt was invented. I even held that title belt from August last year until late October, early November.
And it's certainly gained a measure of prestige since then, hasn't it?
It had prestige when I had it around my waist.
Well, that is debatable.
If anything, it's like some value.
And a big shove with authority by Justice there.
You never know, it might gain some prestige and value if Bryan Kyle can just actually wrestle this match against the big behemoth Justice without using the Gifterage as backup.
Bryan Kyle doesn't need the Gifterage to win this match. It's like I say, match in, match night. It is not the interference of the Gifterage, it is the influence of the Gifterage, and the only reason they're out here is to show support for their baby boy, their pride and joy, Bryan Kyle.
Well, you got the baby boy part right, you see that side right over there.
And Bryan Kyle taking some time out here to regroup, to regain some momentum in this match. He's going to need a new strategy because going in there and trying to match power with a man that big and that quick isn't going to work. He's going to have to go back to his basics. He's going to have to go back to technical wrestling, mat-style wrestling. Ground the big man, chop him down. Nice side headlock there, cutting off some of the oxygen flow to the big man. But the big man pushes him off the ropes, and a big shoulder block by Bryan Kyle.
Talk about young lions. Right there's one hungry wolf in Justice. And another young lion, we have referee Mark Hudgens that are trying to keep order in this house.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you go hungry for so long, it starts to make you starve. And while a starving man is a dangerous man, a man who's been fed, a man who's been to the top, he can stay hungry too. And the good thing for him is he's not worn out by waiting in the wings. He knows what it's like to be a champion. He knows what it's like to hold that title. He's been holding it for a while, and it certainly gives him an edge in the confidence going into this match. And Bryan Kyle taking a moment here to regain some of his breath after an early series of misfortunes with the big man, taking his time, bringing him up. And a big shot to the jaw there certainly seems to have rocked the big man. The momentum seems to be changing.
Right there.
Definitely a big impact elbow, but how long will he be able to capitalize on it with the work that's been done? You see already there, he didn't have the strength to hold on to the cover. Oh, the moves like that by Bryan Kyle.
There's the lariat from the legit hit.
And that certainly seemed like a hit to me. He took the big man's head off with that one.
Look at that hard shot. He got him on the ropes. Referee Mark Hudgens told him, please get him off the ropes.
And he's throwing him to the outside of the ring here. And to a lot of people, this looks like a cheap shot. But what he's doing here, is just playing some good old-fashioned mind games. And maybe you think that isn't fair. Maybe you think that isn't honest. But what it is going to do is deliver a victory because of the influence. The influence of the Gifterage. Did you see how lightly they hit the big man there? They're just trying to wake him up. They're just trying to keep him in the game. But they're still playing the mind games.
So they don't take Bryan's belt.
Take Bryan's belt. Well, they're certainly trying to do that. You have to protect your investment. And you can't blame them for protecting an investment that's as hot as this one. The big man back in the ring. And a big boot to the head. Bryan Kyle going for the cover. The one, the two.
Oh, Justice has a foot on the ropes.
Last sec. I wouldn't call that so much instinct as I would call that a reflex by a man that's dying in there.
That was his last resort there. Justice needs to get his second win.
Nice snapmare by Bryan Kyle, followed with a kick to the upper back, followed by another kick. You just gotta love this style. You gotta love this kind of killer instinct by a man this young. Off the ropes, and another lariat.
Only two. Justice keeps fighting back.
And you can see the look of disbelief on the face of Bryan Kyle. I thought it was over. These fans thought it was over. And I think even Justice thought it was over. I think that's the only reason he kicked out.
From the back, hopefully you can handle it from the
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems I'm left to call this contest by myself. And at this moment, Bryan Kyle is firmly in control of this match. You see Justice in the corner, they're holding his throat. And you see some clubbing blows by Dynamite Derek Billings to Justice. Justice looking around. He's surrounded by a hungry pack of wolves right now. And a big shot by Bryan Kyle to Justice. And Justice doesn't know what's going on at this point. And you got to think Bryan Kyle is definitely feeling like a cat playing with a dead mouse. Shots to the abdomen, but no, the momentum is short-lived. Bryan Kyle fires back to the knee to the abdomen, and a big knee with authority. And Bryan Kyle looks to just be having the time of his life at this point, waiting in the wings to just take this big man down. But first, he's going to have a little bit of fun just to put the exclamation point at the end of the night on this man's night. No! Coming off the ropes! He's caught him! It's a big takedown, he's reversing it! And no! Bryan Kyle makes it to the ropes. It's that killer instinct of Bryan Kyle that's keeping him in the game at this match, folks. And there you see Justice going for a big suplex. Gets the technical wizard Bryan Kyle over. He's going for a pinfall. 1, 2, and Bryan Kyle kicks out. You've got to respect the abilities of the champion. It's like I've said throughout this contest, this man is young and this man still has a long and glorious future in the business. A reversal by and oh my God, just driving the face to the mat there. But Bryan Kyle isn't out of this match yet. He did the early work in this match and chopped the Redwood down, and the Redwood can't get back up to a vertical base to capitalize on that move. And you see the Gifterage out there helping to encourage their boy. And Bryan Kyle looks like he's going to be the first man to his feet in spite of the big move by Justice. Bryan Kyle in the corner pulling himself up by the ring ropes. And he's up to the vertical base first. And Justice holding his abdomen. This big man might be softened up and ready for the kill at this point. Bryan Kyle coming out of the corner. And a block by the big man. And a big shot followed by a big shot. Sends him off the ropes. And a big spinning elbow by Justice to Bryan Kyle. Bryan Kyle stuck in the corner now. Justice stalking him. Goes in, shot to the abdomen, shot to the solar plex. Big elbow to the jaw. And Bryan Kyle appears to be rocked at this point, despite being firmly in control of this contest early on. But no, there's that killer instinct, that ring psychology of Bryan Kyle, the big boot to the head. And Justice doesn't know where he is at this point. And Bryan Kyle doing what he needs to do at this point, getting back inside of the head of the big man, who's been on a roll the last few moments of this contest. And you see the referee counting, but Bryan Kyle isn't worried about the count. He knows the count's up to 10, and he's just taking his time. He's the first man into the ring. Justice coming back into the ring, and Bryan Kyle with a big kick to the ropes, and he brings the big man to his feet with an unconventional maneuver, and the lariat took his head off. And the 1, the 2, and the 3, and chalk another win up for the hottest faction in the sport of wrestling today, the Gifterage. And fans, that was just an absolutely fantastic contest and a fantastic win by the television champion, Bryan Kyle, who stands tall, the victor in the future of this business. And the Gifterage looking confident as ever, and with victories like that, I imagine they're going to have that look on their face for a long time.